The Mediterranean diet has long enjoyed VIP status in the world of cardiology, nutrition, and wellness influencers alike. Packed with vegetables, fruits, olive oil, legumes, whole grains, and plenty of fish, it's consistently praised for reducing heart disease risk, improving brain health, and even helping you live longer, all without forcing you to eat like a monk. But what about eggs? Are they the out-of-place guest at this otherwise olive oil-drenched party? Or do they actually fit in without spoiling the heart health vibe? Spoiler, eggs are not only compatible with the Mediterranean diet, they're welcome guests as long as they show up in moderation and don't bring too much bacon. Let's start with the basics. The Mediterranean diet isn't a rigid rulebook. It's more like a flexible framework inspired by the traditional eating habits of countries like Greece, Italy, and southern Spain. It focuses more on overall patterns than individual food villains or heroes. While red meat is consumed infrequently and sugary, ultra-processed foods are largely left out. The diet itself is balanced and inclusive. Dairy is eaten in moderation, wine is optional but encouraged, just not for breakfast, and eggs? They're in, albeit with a bit of portion mindfulness. In fact, traditional Mediterranean diets do include eggs, though not in the three-egg breakfast with a side of toast and coffee syrup kind of way. Think frittatas loaded with vegetables, eggs poached in tomato-based dishes like shakshuka, or a single boiled egg alongside olives, tomatoes, and whole grain bread. The pattern emphasizes quality, preparation, and synergy, how a food interacts with the rest of the diet, over calorie counting or fat phobia. From a health perspective, moderate egg consumption doesn't conflict with the Mediterranean diet's goals. Eggs are rich in protein, B vitamins, selenium, and choline, a nutrient that supports brain function and liver health, especially important as we age. The yolk also provides lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that promote eye health. These benefits align well with the Mediterranean diet's emphasis on whole foods that nourish more than just your waistline. But what about cholesterol, you ask? Here's where things get interesting. For decades, eggs were feared for their cholesterol content, but the modern consensus among nutrition scientists is that dietary cholesterol doesn't have a major impact on blood cholesterol for most people. And in the context of a Mediterranean diet, which is naturally low in saturated fat and high in fiber, the cholesterol from eggs likely poses little, if any, cardiovascular risk. In fact, some studies suggest that when eaten within a plant-rich, olive oil-heavy dietary pattern, eggs may even help improve HDL, good cholesterol, and maintain a favorable LDL to HDL ratio. Several recent clinical trials have looked at how eggs fit into cardioprotective diets and found no increased risk of heart disease when eggs are eaten in moderation. One study even added 1 egg per day to a Mediterranean-style diet and found no adverse changes in blood lipid profiles. So unless you're part of a small group of people who are cholesterol hyperresponders or have specific medical concerns, the occasional egg can absolutely coexist with your hummus and grilled eggplant. Of course, how the egg is prepared still matters. A poached egg on avocado toast or a veggie-stuffed omelet drizzled with extra virgin olive oil fits beautifully into the Mediterranean model. But if your idea of an egg is buried in a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or deep-fried beyond recognition, we're veering into a different dietary pattern, one the Mediterranean diet would politely decline. In short, eggs don't need to be banned from your Mediterranean menu. Eaten in moderation, think several per week rather than several per day. They can complement this heart-loving, life-extending way of eating without derailing your cholesterol or your taste buds. They're versatile, nutrient-dense, and surprisingly well-behaved in a diet known for its flexibility and pleasure. So, if you've been cracking eggs with a side of guilt, relax. The Mediterranean diet says it's okay. Just maybe skip the sausage.